What's going on, everybody? It's been a while. Been about 2 months since we have this. The last Sippi and Shannon show we did, I do believe, it's baseball. So go ahead and estimate that for how long it's been since we last did our show. But anyway, Sippi and Shannon show, like I said, is returning. New and improved football edition. Been wanting to do this. Week by week, and we haven't due to Hurricane Ida hitting and affecting Sippi hard. And he finally got his internet back today, and he is back on. And I couldn't be more happier to bring him in. Welcome to the stream, Zippy.
What is going on, fellas? How you been, Shannon?
I've been good. How about you?
I'm good. Good to be back on the show and finally getting some college football talk in.
For
Uh,
sure.
y- Over the off season and all that, we've been trying to talk it up, but hey, we are back talking college football, and go ahead and kind of talk a little bit about them LSU Tigers.
Uh, I knew this would be one of the first things I would have to
Yes,
talk about.
sir. Hey, and I had to throw it up there too, man.
Yeah. Well, not 2-1, 3-1, I do believe on the season. Like I said, I had it starting off 4-0, 8-0. I forgot what I had. I forgot the whole thing. I think I had us going 8-0 going into Tuscaloosa or something like that, or 7-1. I obviously don't think that's gonna happen. The team that I see on the field, no O line whatsoever. If you watch LSU Mississippi, first 4 games of the season, you see we have no O line, right? I don't know if you watched this yet, but there's no O line whatsoever, and that's one of the main reasons we can't win games. Didn't win the UCLA game. Slid by Mississippi State this past weekend, which I'll get into here in a few minutes. That's one thing that I'm gonna break down. O line, I just kind of did. Next thing that we don't have is running game. Another thing, if you watch LSU, you know that we don't have no running game. Really don't even know if we do have a running game. Won't run it so pass it so much. We don't know if we have a running game or what's going on with the running game. And let's see what else. Running game, O line. Uh, I think the offense is about as bland. I mean, I think the offense is really bland so far. First 4 games, I was expecting to get this season. I was expecting to see a little bit of creativity, if you know what I mean, Sippy here. A little bit of creativity, but I have not seen any of that. I've seen it. It's pass, run. It's the same things that you see in any football game. No creativity whatsoever so far through these first 4 games. Uh, and it's just, I don't know. I've just been frustrated with everything.
Well,
Everything's just been going wrong. Go ahead.
From what I've seen, and like I said, I have not seen the LSU Tigers play this season, but I have seen some highlights and I've seen their stats and I've seen all that stuff. The UCLA game, man, I'll chalk that one up to the first game of the season. Trying to figure out what we're going to do still at quarterback. I say me loosely. I'm not an LSU fan. Talking about you as my buddy here, but I do see y'all's O line as a problem. It seemed like defensive. A lot of the highlights you see of LSU is the other team getting sacks up on you and tackles for a loss and stopping the run. Looking forward, I don't know. I don't know how you see it, man, and that's kind of what I was about to ask you. Going forward, uh, you know, you come off a 7-3 win at Mississippi State. Do you feel momentum after that, or is it still flat?
I mean, it's still kind of flat, if you know what I mean. 28-25 over the Bulldogs. It just don't feel right. Even last year, we lost him. Usually I'm used to beating Mississippi State by double digits. Just going in Starkville playing like we did. Mississippi State had that game. If they would have ran it, if you watch that game, they're getting 8, 9, 10 yards every carry and just gashing LSU up the middle every time they'd run the ball. One question I would ask Mike Leach is why he stopped running the ball and why he refused to run the ball because they were gashing LSU like, I mean, it was 8, 9, 10 yards. Like I said, every carry they would get on us. We should have lost that game. All the mistakes by Mississippi State defensively, offensively they threw I do believe 2 interceptions. One interception they had some turnovers that cost them. They every time they get in the red zone, they got in the red zone 5, 6 times. They couldn't punch it in. Excuse me, I mean like they got to the red zone 5 or 6 times. They couldn't punch it in. So just so many mistakes went wrong for Mississippi State. LSU got lucky in that game, just found a way to win. So I still feel flat. I mean, I just don't. I didn't see, I don't see no momentum whatsoever after that game. And going forward, Auburn get Auburn next. I just, like I said, I feel flat. I mean, I just, I'm not pounding my chest going into the Auburn game and saying we're going to beat them by 25 points or something like crazy, stupid like that. Uh,
Well,
and like,
how do you see that game going?
that's what I was about to say. I was about to say I was going to get to that in a minute, but I'll go ahead and say it right now. It'd be a good time to say it. How I have that game going. I think, I'm just going to jump to a conclusion. I'm going to go ahead and say who I think's going to win. I've done it many predictions. I don't think LSU's going to win this game. The way they played, offensively, defensively, I don't see Auburn's for first big test. UCLA lost to them. It wasn't even really a big matchup like SEC team like this. This game is in Death Valley in 8 o'clock night game, so it's gonna be Saturday night in Death Valley. I don't think that changes anything. Death Valley's been 50, 75% anyway. So I mean, it ain't much of a difference. And guess who's starting this weekend for Auburn, Sippy? Hey,
TJ Finley, baby.
you got it.
Yes, indeed. Are you kidding me? Over Bo Nix, or did Bo Nix get
I,
hurt?
I think Bo Nix got hurt. There ain't no way that coach is that dumb to start TJ Finley on some
Hey,
coach.
man, the Ponchatoula kid, brother. He's going to come in and go against LSU. That's really, really. I kind of want to watch that game over the Southern Miss and Rice game, only because I kind of feel Southern Miss. And I mean, I know we're 1-3, and we haven't even touched on this yet. But Southern Miss has Rice this week, and Rice has only beaten Texas Southern. Southern Miss has only beaten Grambling State. We're kind of in the same position. And we have to go to Rice. Last year we got blasted by Rice, but something tells me after the Bama game, scoring 14 points on the number one team in the country, I do believe that
Y'all gonna
Southern
get
Miss
it done.
is going to go into Houston and beat Rice. It's going. I don't know what the score is going to be, but I do. I kind of feel sold on it. But I can't wait to see that LSU and Auburn game, especially with TJ playing.
It's definitely gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna elaborate on it. LSU Auburn a little bit more. So basically, like I said, I think Auburn's gonna beat LSU. And I'm gonna get to the keys of the game. If LSU wants to win this game, they're gonna have a run game. They're gonna have to make some changes on the O line, defense, safety position, all that. Basically whole defense. Except the D line. The only thing that's really good on the team is the D line right now. Uh, let's see. Yeah, LSU's just gonna have to make changes. From what I've seen through the first 3 games, got 4 games really, but I have not seen any changes. Each week in and week out, I have not seen any changes. It's been the same team every week. So if LSU made some changes and gotten better each week, I would say LSU can win this game because I've seen changes, but I have not seen any changes by LSU. They're getting out coached. They didn't get out. I mean, they got out coached this Saturday. I hate to say it, by Mississippi State. Well, they really didn't. Mississippi State, take that comment back. But anyway, if LSU wants to win this game, they're gonna have to make some changes offensively and defensively, like I said, and they're gonna have to play better football. Got
Yeah.
anything? Sid?
Well, when it comes to LSU, like I said, man, I can't sit here and run it too much because I haven't seen them all the way play. Only seen highlights, and like I say, stats. But going into Auburn, it's going to be a tough task going on the road, and I'm gonna chalk it up to LSU and the Coach O. I do see them coming into Auburn and getting a win, brother.
Yeah,
TJ Finley's first start against his old team, that could go terribly wrong. I mean, it could go really good, but more than less, I think that the Tigers are that's kind of funny because they're both Tigers, but I do think LSU will come out on top, um, solely because it might be too much for TJ Finley going
I see what you
against
mean.
his whole team.
And that last comment I said about how LSU got out coached, I didn't mean to say Mississippi State. I just finished saying how they got out coached. I meant to say through most of these games, first three games they've gotten out coached. You know, with Central Michigan, McNeese State aside, UCLA game, you know, I got out coached. I didn't mean to say Mississippi State, so I just wanted to clarify that real fast. But you got anything else on this topic, Sippy?
Nah, man, think I'm good.
All right. So we're gonna move on. I think we finished up LSU best we can here. Went through the UCLA game, rest of the games, you know, and all that. So Sippy, you wanna flip the paper to Southern Miss? You ready?
uh
First
yeah.
play.
Well, the Golden Eagles right now are sitting at 1-3, fourth in the Conference USA West. It's not looking good for the Golden Eagles. We started the season down in Mobile. I drove over there to watch them get beat 31-7. We looked terrible. I'm telling you right now, the Golden Eagle team did not look good at all. The very next week at home, we played Grambling. Watching this game from the section BB, man, it was good to see Ty Keys come in the game and put up, I think it was 26 points. And you know, after halftime, when Trey Lowe went down with an injury, and since then, and for the remainder of the season, we have a freshman quarterback starting for the Golden Eagles in Ty Keys. So go, you know, he comes in the game in the second half. They win that game against Grambling. Then they play Troy at home. They lose that game 21-9. We don't get on the board at all offensively. The 9 points came from a field goal, and then we had a scoop and score on defense, and then we missed the extra point. So the 9 points, that's how we got them there. Then we went to Bama. I traveled down there to Tuscaloosa, or up there to Tuscaloosa. Had a phenomenal time. We closed Tuscaloosa down. All the bars closed at 2. We were there till 3:40 on the strip, having a blast, eating Waffle House and doing all that stuff in Tuscaloosa. But on the football field, the Golden Eagles got waxed 63-14 by the Tide. And to be honest with you, getting those 14 points, there is a sense of motivation and confidence coming out of that game. And people say, you know, how the hell do you have confidence coming out of that game? You just got whacked 63-14. But let me say this: you got to see Ty Keys complete 2 touchdown passes against the Crimson Tide, a freshman going into Tuscaloosa for the Golden Eagles. That just meant a lot to us. We saw what he could do. One of the passes was to a freshman, Chandler Pittman from McGee, Mississippi, that played quarterback last season, and now he's a running back / slot receiver. And just seeing what he could do, you know, against the number 1 team in the country, scored receiving touchdown, was really, really cool. So I think we see where I think the Golden Eagles see what they can do, and going against Bama, although people said that's going to hurt our confidence going forward, I do think it helped us. So we got Rice this week. Rice is 1-3 as well. The only team they beat, I've said this earlier on the pod, the only team they beat was Texas Southern, and that was last week. And the only team we beat was Grambling. That was the second week. But we've only beat FCS teams, and we've played somewhat of a similar schedule. I just see the Southern Miss Golden Eagles going into Rice, getting the win. ESPN has us as a 64% favorite. Their running back Myers, 43 carries, 224 yards with 5 touchdowns, man. That's compared to Frank Gore's 64 carries, 281 yards, and 1 touchdown. Gore's got more yards, but Myers has the touchdowns by far. You know, Luke McCaffrey, can't even talk. Christian McCaffrey's little brother was the starting quarterback for the Rice Owls. That's been on hold. They benched him after the Texas game and put in Constantine. Constantine was the quarterback last year for the Rice. He's 30 for 38, 351 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Whereas Ty Keys, the freshman for Southern Miss, is 31 for 62. 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So, man, hopefully Ty Keys will get it together, and the offensive line will get. I mean, we're kind of similar with LSU, except when I say we're similar, we have the same offensive line troubles. It's just we can run the ball a little bit better in our
Yeah.
division. In the teams that
Mhm.
we play.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Golden Eagles, man? If you remember, I said we would go 6-6. I said 6-6 all the way up to 8-4. So, what are your thoughts on that? And then, what are your thoughts on the Golden Eagles, man?
Well, I haven't really watched the Golden Eagles yet, so I can't tell you really too much about what I think of them.
Okay.
Uh, but I mean, I can go by the score. The first game of the season, 31-7. I really thought this game would be a lot closer. Like I said a few months ago, I said y'all would lose this game, first game of the season at South Alabama. But I thought it'd be, I get the score prediction too. I said it would be 31-27. So I got the 31 right, but I needed 20 more points for the Golden Eagles to give up to get my score prediction right. So I thought, like I said, 31-27. I thought it'd be a lot closer game. I didn't think y'all go in there and get blown out like that. That just really shocked me. Next game of the season, this is another shocker for me. Grambling State. I thought this would be, I thought y'all would win this game by a big margin, but not. What was it, Tippy? 37-0. Y'all won. Y'all beat Grambling.
Yes.
37-0. I'm good with scores. 37-0. I didn't think y'all would win that big. So that was big. Let me ask you this: was that a big confidence booster for you and the Golden Eagles going forward? That game, beating Grambling, 37
Oh,
nothing.
yeah. Oh, yes, indeed. Ty Keys was able to come in the game and run in for a touchdown and throw for what? Throw for a touchdown. And he ended up having over 100 yards total, and he put up 26 points when he was in the game. So it just meant a lot to see the freshman come in that way after the starter went down. So we were like, dang, he came in and we scored 26 points. So hey, he must be the spark we needed. And then going into Troy, we kind of really were keyed up on that, and we were happy about that. And then Troy just totally, exposed Ty Keys to the D1 level, and it kind of took us all by shock. But nevertheless, against Bama, he came back and put up 2 touchdowns, man. So I can't be too upset with him. Even he's a freshman, and we're going to have to be patient.
Mm-hmm. So the next game would be Troy, right? I'm just thinking this in my head. Troy, was this on the road? Is this a game on the road?
No, Troy was at home.
Okay. So didn't y'all beat them or lose to them 21-9?
Correct.
So yeah. Anyway, this would be the first game I'm really expected to go. I said Troy would win. Somewhere in there. So this one wasn't. I can't really expand too much on because I don't have really too much to say. But 21-9, I expected somewhere in there to y'all to lose to Troy. So the next game, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the Alabama game. We all expected a big blowout like this. I didn't expect 63 points though for Alabama to get, but they have a high-powered offense. They kind of got exposed at Florida. But we'll save that for another day to talk about that and trash Alabama. We'll save that for another day. Uh, in fact, I'll save that for after we lose to Alabama. I'll save all that for then. Uh, so y'all scored 14 points. I didn't see that. Like I said, I think that's you said earlier that's a big confidence booster, right? I mean, it really is, especially for a little team like Southern Miss to go up to Tuscaloosa in a hostile environment, score 14 points. It don't matter where you score them at. I mean, still Alabama. That's 2 touchdowns that you got. Were they both on offense, right?
Yes, both of them were passing touchdowns from Ty Keys.
Yeah, that's
That
I
was
mean that's
pretty. It was pretty impressive. And the interception, he had an interception, but the interception was down in the red zone. So technically, it was possible that he could have had another touchdown, and that would have been really really cool to see over 20 points. But
definitely.
nevertheless, that didn't pan out too well. That didn't pan out too well for him.
So what y'all's next game? At Rice. What is Rice's record?
They're 1-3 as well.
1-3 and 1. So 1-3 as well. So both the teams are gonna be 1-3. I do believe Southern Miss is going to win this game by a pretty big margin. By about 3 to 4 touchdowns. I think you are going to go into Houston and beat the Rice Owls. And I think y'all are going to go to 2-3, and then I'm not sure the next game after that, and the whole schedule and all that. But we'll save that for another show to go in depth for each schedule. You know what I mean? Rest of the season, 'cause this drastically changed my thoughts on the LSU schedule. I had us
Yeah.
going 10-2, and now it's like I have us, possibly only winning two more SEC games.
Yeah,
So it's
I definitely have. I definitely have the Golden Eagles maybe winning 3 to 4 games tops.
yeah. Uh, if you went to bed September 3rd and woke up today, and went to bed September 3rd, and I had LSU going 10-2, and woke up today, and me saying on this live stream, I only see them winning two or three more SEC games. You would jump on the phone and go see what happened to LSU this season, because something drastically happened. I mean, drastic happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's gonna wrap up. You got anything else to say? And any last words?
Nah, man, just Southern Miss to the dog on top, and it's good to be back. Look for us at least once a week, right?
For sure. Yep. I'm so glad you got your internet back. That's definitely great.
Yes, indeed.
But I think that's gonna be it for tonight. Unless you want to talk about a little bit about the NFL, if you want to.
Man, I'm about to hit the hay, man. I'm tired. I had a
Yeah, I
long
didn't.
day. My
Already
Chiefs
did.
are one. My Chiefs are 1-2, man. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, my Saints are 2-1. I don't want to talk about it. So
There
we're
you
at an
go.
agreement.
Yes, indeed, man. But hey, man, have a good night, bro.
All right, you too. I'll see
Man.
y'all.